At the edge of the valley, where the last fields give way to shadows, lies a forest older than memory. The trees rise tall and silent, their crowns woven together like a vaulted roof of green. To step beneath them is to step into another world, a world where time moves differently, and every sound carries the weight of a story. These woods are called the Whispering Forest, not because the wind moves its branches, though it does, with soft sighs and rustling leaves, but because those who listen carefully claim to hear voices, hidden in the stillness. Not words, not speech as humans know it, but murmurs that rise from bark and soil, from moss and roots, from streams flowing beneath ancient stones. Legends say the forest remembers. Every season, every passing of birds, every step of animals across its floor, all are kept within the wood. The trees are its library, their rings recording centuries of rain and fire, growth and silence. Their whispers are the echoes of memory, released slowly, like breath carried on the wind. Entering the forest, the light changes. Sunbeams no longer strike directly, but filter through countless layers of leaves. They scatter into shifting patterns, dappling the ground with silver and green. Shadows drift with the breeze, creating the illusion of movement, as though the forest itself were alive and watching. The air is cool here, touched by the scent of pine and earth. Moisture clings to the moss that carpets fallen logs. Fern fronds arch overhead like delicate fans, and mushrooms bloom quietly in hidden corners. Every detail speaks of stillness, but not of emptiness. The silence is filled with presence, a quiet so complete that the slightest sound feels magnified. If one lingers, the whispers begin. At first, they are faint, easily mistaken for wind in the leaves. But the longer one listens, the clearer they seem. A chorus, low and hushed, rising and falling without rhythm, as though countless voices speak all at once. Not urgent, not loud, but steady, continuous, patient. Some say the voices belong to the trees themselves. Each tree a storyteller. The oaks, deep and slow, speaking of centuries of storms. The birches, bright and quick, murmuring of fleeting seasons. The pines, sharp and resinous, humming in tones that linger. Together, they form a harmony, the sound of the forest remembering itself. Others believe the whispers come from the roots. Beneath the soil, an unseen network stretches, binding tree to tree. Through these threads, messages pass, warnings and greetings, knowledge of water and sun. What rises to the surface is only the faintest echo of this underground conversation, too vast and too ancient for human understanding. Deeper in the forest, the whispers grow stronger. Streams carry them in liquid tones as water trickles over stones. Birdsong pauses, and in the silence between notes, the forest breathes. Insects hum, wings brush against leaves, and all the sounds together weave a tapestry of murmurs. Night in the whispering forest is unlike night anywhere else. The canopy closes overhead, blotting out all but a scattering of stars. The air grows colder, the whispers lower, as though the forest itself drifts into slumber. Faint glimmers appear among the undergrowth. Fireflies, their lights rising and fading in slow rhythm, like lanterns carried by unseen hands. Owls stir, calling softly from the dark, their voices blending with the murmurs. The forest speaks differently at night, slower, deeper, more secretive. The legends told of this place speak not of danger, but of memory. They say that those who walk here too quickly will hear nothing but the rustle of leaves. Only those who pause, who listen, who breathe with the rhythm of the trees, can hear the whispers clearly. And what they hear is not instruction, not prophecy, but a reminder of scale, that the life of a tree measures centuries, that the forest story stretches far beyond the span of human years. Once, travelers marked paths through the whispering forest. Some of those paths remain, faint lines pressed into moss, lined with stones half swallowed by roots. But the forest closes over what is not used. Branches fall, leaves pile, soil shifts, and slowly the paths disappear, as though the forest reclaims its own shape. Even so, the whispers carry them still. Every step that was ever taken here lingers in the soil's memory, murmured softly beneath the surface. In spring, the forest whispers of renewal. Sap rises, buds unfurl, birds return with songs that braid into the murmurs. In summer, it whispers of abundance, shade, shelter, and the hum of countless wings. In autumn, the whispers deepen, telling of release as leaves fall and soil thickens. In winter, the forest grows quiet, the whispers faint, like breath beneath a blanket of snow. Time does not erase these stories. Each season leaves its trace, and the forest carries them all at once. Its whispers are layers, echoes of moments overlapping, a chorus of what has been, mingling with what is now. Some storytellers claim the forest's murmurs are not meant for human ears at all. They are the conversations of the world with itself, indifferent to listeners. But others believe that to hear them is to be reminded of belonging. The humans, too, are part of the pattern, woven into the same fabric of life. Not guests, not intruders, but threads within the same tapestry. The forest never shouts. It never forces its voice above the rest. Its whispers require patience, quiet, attention, and in return, it offers perspective, the recognition that time is vast, that life is layered, that silence itself can carry meaning. At dawn, when mist drifts low among the trunks, the whispers are at their clearest. The rising light stirs the forest, and the murmurs lift as though the trees themselves sigh awake. Birds stir, wings beat softly. Dew falls in silver drops from leaves. For a brief moment, the entire forest hums in harmony, the whispers rising like a breath before dissolving into the new day. The whispering forest does not end. Its boundaries blur into other woods, other lands, but its essence remains wherever trees stand in silence. It is less a place than a rhythm, a voice that belongs to all living roots. To enter it is to step into that rhythm, to walk among centuries, to hear echoes too old for words. And when one finally leaves, stepping back into fields and open air, the memory of the forest lingers, not as a clear message, but as a sensation, the awareness of countless voices woven into the quiet, speaking softly, patiently, endlessly. The forest whispers still, whether or not anyone listens. It remembers, it endures, and it carries on its ancient murmur beneath leaves and bark, through roots and soil, across seasons and centuries. The endless story of the whispering forest.